Hello, my name is Rob Richards. I'm the owner of Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, and thank you for coming to our virtual open house. We have a lot in store for you, and I'm so proud of our So Fun presenters. You know, Mallory's our coordinator, and she has a tricky job making sure we get the right products in for you. The presenters invest a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of talent into what you're going to see, what you have seen this year, but also they're going to tease you with some things that are coming up for next year. But first, just like with all of our drawings, I'm going to give some stuff away. Now, how this is going to work is you have to do the whole like, share, all that stuff to be able to be entered into draw. And what I'm going to give away is, first of all, 4 boxes of string. You can't see them because I forgot to bring them. So we're going to give one of those away, the equivalent of one of each at each store, but I'm also going to give away 10 of these $309 Burnett sewing machines. And so they could be all winners at Littleton. We're not committing that they're going to be at certain stores, but we're going to give 10 of these away to anybody that likes and shares on Facebook or comments on YouTube, wherever this video lands. So please participate and you could win. And then if you're out of state, of course, we will ship this to you at no charge. And if you say, hey, I do not want a $309 sewing machine, I would rather have a Brother XP2, we would be happy to credit that to a new sewing machine or another product for you. So, you know, our So Fun program every year, we basically, when we're able to have it live, it's a group gathering, we have giveaways, we have a lot of, we have goodies at the break, and we have a lot of inspiration. And so we do sell a discount card that looks similar to this. We sell it for $69.99. It's good for an entire year, and that really helps fund our So Fun program. But this discount card gives you 20% off in the stores every day of the week off regular priced accessories, notions, fabric, things like that. And then on the back are some places that will also, some quilt shops and things that will honor the 20% discount or something. We don't require them to give a specific discount. It could be a high five, it could be a hug when you show it, it could be a fat quarter, who knows. But we just like to promote in the community sewing, and I think this is just good for everybody to help drive our customers to other places to do business. And if you purchase your discount card, while supplies last, we have this $12.99 tote with my favorite company in the world, the logo right here on the front. And so when you get this, when you buy the card, you will get this for free, but we do have a limited supply of these. I know we've already pre-sold quite a few, so don't delay, buy today. And so really, I just want to thank our customers for being our customers. Our open house that we have in the stores is typically really a thank you and a nice shindig with food and all that good stuff. So you'll have to have some goodies with us during our video presentation here. But I really want to thank our customers for sticking with us and being so amazing. So with that, I won't speak anymore. I'll turn this over to Mallory, and she's going to take it away from here. Thanks a lot for watching.
Hi, welcome to So Fun. This is our open house for December here at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum. I'm Mallory, I'm the So Fun manager, and while we are wearing masks right now, it's just because we're standing so close together, and here at our event center, we're in a mask mandate county currently. We will not be wearing masks for the majority of this video, so please stick around for the whole thing. I did want to take a minute here to introduce all of the presenters for So Fun this year. To my right, your left, I have Terry. Terry teaches classes at our Littleton store and is one of our So Fun presenters. Then we have Rosemary. Rosemary teaches classes and works part-time at our Arvada location. And then behind me, I have Tracy. Tracy teaches classes and works part-time at our Littleton store. To my left, your right, I have Kathy and Lisa, who are both So Fun presenters here at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum. And last but not least, we have Lynn. She is the manager of our Littleton store, and she also presents our Sew and Tell portion of So Fun every month here on the videos. Stick around to see lots of fun projects that you can get done either as Christmas decorations for this year or fun Christmas gifts before the holiday. I'm going to show you our first project for today. What I made this month was these really cute little stuffies that are done all in the embroidery machine. It's a disc by Dolls and Daydreams. It has all of these, what she calls quick kids projects. They're perfect for kids to make or for an adult to make if they want to do something really fast and easy. So these are made in the embroidery machine. The pattern includes a Santa Claus, a Christmas tree, a reindeer, penguin, snowman, elf, stocking, and a bonus little teddy bear. I made the Christmas tree to start with. This was in the 8x12 hoop. The disc includes sizes 4x4, 5x7, 6x10, 7x12, and 8x12. So really any size machine you have will be able to accommodate these stuffies. It will just depend on what size stuffy you can make. So this is the 8x12. And on this one, I made it out of fleece. I used some of our glitter vinyl for the star, which embroidered really beautifully. It's fun. It makes a great star. I also used some metallic thread for the lights. Now, one thing that I noticed for my embroidery is it's so dry in Colorado right now. I mean, my voice is a little raspy because the weather has just been so dry. And so I'm getting lots of static in my sewing room, and I get little loops occasionally when I'm embroidering. So here's a little hot trick for you. If you take your spray bottle and spray your spool of thread just lightly, just mist it a little bit before you start embroidering, it really cuts down on those little loops you get in your embroidery. So that's what I did to help cut down on some of these little loops on that. When you're embroidering these stuffies, you do need some of the mesh stabilizer. You could use tearaway, but I don't like the way that feels, and I don't like having to tear it off at the end. It kind of pulls. So I just like using the mesh. So I made the Christmas tree. I also made a whole little family of snowmen. So this is the, let's start with the bottom. I made two little 4x4 snowmen. I made the 5x7 and the 6x10. So I want you to pay attention to these two. They are the same design besides the bow. I left the bow off of this one. But fleece stretches one way, so depending on how you put your fleece into the machine will determine what your end stuffy looks like. So this one is a little bit taller because the fleece stretched height-wise, top to bottom, and on this one it stretched side to side, and so it made a fatter looking snowman. So that's something to be aware of as you're making your stuffies. I also made some of the penguin stuffies. So I've got a couple little cute 4x4 stuffies, 5x7, and then I wanted to show you with the 6x10, when you, after you're done embroidering it, you take it off the machine, cut around your stitching and flip it right side out, and it's really done. All you have to do is put your stuffing in this little hole and hand stitch close this tiny little gap. So it really is a fast project for you to do with very little hands-on sewing. Most of it is done in the embroidery machine. All right, so my last tip for you is that if you have one of the larger machines, I have the FOF Creative Icon. So in the hoop that is 260 by 360, I was able to embroider all 4 of those snowmen at one time and all 4 of those penguins at once. So I just brought it into my embroidery software on my machine, on my computer, and I did a color sort to make it just a really quick and easy project, even easier than it was before. Pick up this disc at our stores. Lots of fun projects that you can get done for Christmas gifts. The next person who's going to be presenting projects for us today is Kathy, and she's going to come up and show a really fun quick gift.
Well, hello everyone. Merry Christmas. One of the things we're trying to do as Sew Fun presenters for the December Sew Fun is to find some projects that will be quick and easy to make that you could still get done in time for Christmas. And so I didn't make a quilt. But I did find this cute pattern from Atkinson Designs called Bubbly bags. And I thought these just might be the ticket for something if you're giving a gift of wine or something in a bottle, or even another gift that would fit in a kind of a tall cylindrical bag. But in addition to the tall bags, there's also a smaller bag just as a general gift bag. So these bags are very quick to make, and they come in 3 sizes. This is the 8-inch size, and of course I had these gnomes from November So Fun, so I thought this would be perfect to put on these little bags. And the thing about these little bags is, first of all, let's talk about the handle. The handle is actually zipper tape pulled in half, and then you take one edge of the zipper and put it this way, and the other edge and put it that way, and sew them together, and so the zippers become the handle. So they got some good strength to them, and they're really quick and easy to make, no turning, and you can even use 2 different colors of zippers as shown in the pattern. So you might have a red zipper on one side and a green one on the other, or something like that. But black went with what I was doing, so I just used a black zipper. In her directions, these are so quick to make if you do it the way she said to do it. Of course, I'm not going to do that. So, because I didn't like the idea that inside the bag you saw the raw edge. And what she wanted to do, so you sew the top and the bottom fabric together, and then just zigzag the edges, and then fold them right sides together and sew up the side seams. And the idea of raw edges inside the bag is just not something I'm comfortable with. And so I put them wrong side together and then turn them right side out and then sew them together. So you have almost like a French seam on the inside. The way that you construct these so that they have some heft and weft to them is you use stiff stuff for the front and the back panel and the bottom, and then you fuse fusible woven to the sides, but you leave a little gap in between the pieces of the fusible woven and the stiff stuff so that they fold correctly when you make them, and then you just pull the inside up to make the little triangle to square out the bottom of the bag. The only trick to that is be careful when you fold all that together to make sure you don't have a little pleat hidden inside there, so that you get a nice smooth triangle on the outside of the bag once it's sewn. If you were to do it where you don't mind the raw edges showing, seriously, these would take about an hour to make. I made all 3 in an afternoon. The one other thing to watch out about, though, is that you cut this takes 32 inches of fabric by 9, so 1/3 of a yard works. However, if you have directional fabric, you can't use 1/3 of a yard. You'd have to cut your fabric this way for directional fabric. So it would take almost a yard to do them. So just be aware of that if you have directional fabric. So these are the Bubbly bags from Atkinson Designs, perfect to take that bottle of wine to your Christmas party and ready to make in just a couple hours. So up next, we're going to see about some more containers for Christmas with Tracy.
Hi there. So I made these very cute handy baskets by Cotton Ginny. They're a lot bigger than I thought they would be, but they just turned out adorable. We have a nice little Santa, a snowman, that didn't work well, a snowman, and a nice little reindeer also. So I, like Kathy, changed up the directions a little bit. She had you use a couple of layers of 987 fusible fleece and a layer of Embroidery. I just used 1 layer of Soft and Stable on the outside, and I quilted the design on them. And then I used fusible woven on the inside, the lining, to give it a little bit of something, a little bit of body to it. Then she also had you on all of the little decorations for the faces and whatever, sew it together, right sides together, turn it inside out, and use stuffing to sew it on. I didn't really want to try to do that, so I just laid wrong sides together of my fabric for the Santa hat and the face, put some fusible fleece inside of it, sewed around it, used pinking shears to cut it, and I think it turned out just fine that way, and no turning inside out and stuffing things. That just takes forever. I used a covered button for his nose. You can put candy in these little guys, some peppermint sticks around them, all that. So with the snowman, it was just the same stuff, just a few buttons to sew on. Really cute little decoration there. And then the reindeer, same thing. And I decided to put some sewing notions in there. So if you have somebody that's, you're giving a, beginning sewer, you can give them some new sewing notions and put it in there. One thing, his antlers don't stand up very well, so some Peltex in here would be much better than just fusible fleece. So I might have to change that out. But I think they turned out really cute. They're very fast to make. I would make the handles a little bit longer. They're not really that long. They're only like 4.5 inches, so I'd make those a little bit longer. But I think they turned out really cute, adorable. Took an afternoon and evening to make all 3 of them, so I didn't think that was too awfully bad.
Thanks, Tracy, for showing us those darling Christmas buckets. I'm Lisa, and what I made for you today is this really fun Lazy Girl Designs. She calls it the Bindi bag. And I thought this would be great as a container to hold a little Christmas gift, but also this would make a great, really quick gift. These were a quick make, maybe a little over an hour to make one. Very scrap friendly. You can use a fat quarter or a quarter of a yard of any fabric that you happen to have. So it's a really good way to use up some of your scraps and things like that, some of your smaller pieces of fabric that you have. These go together really quickly, and they have kind of a clever design in that the zipper goes down the side and across the top. And they're the perfect size for like cord wrangling or things like that. So the first one I made it out of Christmas fabric because I'm going to use it as a little Christmas container. So you can see how the zipper goes around the side, and when it's unzipped, it opens really nice and wide. And I just lined it with some cute Christmas fabric. Now, like Kathy and her pattern, this pattern also has you zigzag raw edged seams on the insides. I know Kathy is not okay with that. However, this does that as well, because what you do is you sew this diagonal seam. You sew the zipper in straight along the straight side of the fabric, and then you sew this diagonal seam, and then it bends the bag into the shape of a bag and bends the zipper, hence the name the Bindi bag, so that it goes around the top like this. So I thought, okay, I can do the really close zigzag, and it really does finish the seams pretty nicely. They're very narrow. You trim them down to 1/8 of an inch, and when you zigzag with a really narrow zigzag, it finishes them pretty nice. I also thought on many Bayani patterns, she has you bind the raw seams insides of bags and projects on hers. So I also thought, all right, I could do one where I just put binding around those seams, and that would be easy to do. It wouldn't take that much more time. One of the cute things about this bag is it calls for a 14-inch zipper, which is longer than what you need. And you cut 3.5 inches off the end of the zipper, and then you use the zipper to make the little grab tab on the side of the bag. And you can kind of see on the front of the pattern, it has the grab tag is the little 3.5 inches of zipper that you cut off. So it makes it really cute, really fun. But for my purposes, I didn't want to do that because I wanted to, this is for one of my grandkids. So I wanted to use my printed tape that I have that I use for all of my little labels. So it says, I just use this as my grab tag, and it says Mimi Love on one side, and it has a little heart printed on the other side, and I have a whole big spool of this twill tape printed like that. So it's really quick and easy for me to use for handles. I think these would make a darling little bag for a small gift to fit in, but I also think that they would be a really great gift in and of themselves. Quick and easy, a little last-minute project, and I think you'll really, really like those. So next up, we have Rosemary with some fun projects for you.
Thank you, Lisa. So my project was a table runner, and it was from this pattern by Emily Scott Designs. And one of the things I liked about it a whole lot is that it had each one of these little ho-ho-hos, and the leaves and everything were all separate, so I could bring them in separately. It does say you need a 5x7 hoop, but if you have software, you can bring your designs in and you can size them and move them around and do whatever you want to do with it. And that's one of my biggest faults, is I always want to move things around and make them the way I want them to be. So here's my table runner. And one of the things I did was I took the leaves that were in the center. She only had 4, and I made them 6 and moved them around to make them look more like a wreath. I also decided I wanted to put some velvet in there, which was probably not a really great idea. But I used some steam-a-seam and ironed it on there and laid it down, and it came out really pretty. I really like the little sparkles on it. And after I got it all finished, I realized I forgot to put the leaves on the bottom, but that's also okay because I think it came out really cute. I used just regular size rickrack, and I cut on the bias to get more of a candy cane look for my binding. The other thing I did was I put it in my Stellaire, my brother Stellaire sewing machine, so that I could trace out the ho-ho-hos and not quilt over the top of it. And this did some meandering stippling around it to finish it all up. So, and I even put some really pretty bright red and gold stripes on the back, and I was very pleased with the results at the end. The other thing that the pattern has on it is it has a mug rug. So of course I had to make a mug rug, and I used the same velvet on that and the little ho-ho-hos on the side on white. And so you could make like 6 or 7 of those and put them on top of your coffee table, and you'd have a real cute little display for Christmas. So the next person that we have coming up is we have Lynn.
Hi everybody, my name is Lynn, and I have some great projects for you today. I also used a design disc by Emily Scott. It is all embroidery, and it was really fun. I did one of the projects just like she called for it to be done, and then made some changes to it. So I started with this center mat that she designed. It's designed to go in the center of the table. It would, you could use it with a 9x13 cake pan on it or some kind of casserole dish. What was great about this project is to create the border around the project, you actually use templates, which I had not ever done a project with templates before. So you marked a line 1 inch in and then in from there, and then just laid the templates around the fabric that you're going to do the embroidery on. I used the camera on my 10 needle machine where I could go right in, see, line up the design right exactly over top of the template. And as I used each template, I took it off. You do have to remember to take the template off. I did only sew through one of them, and only briefly, so I remembered after that to take them off. Once you get this done, you layer the fabric with the backing and the batting, and then there's a quilting design that comes with it. You also do that as a template. You lay it on the center, you can position it, and then you can do this beautiful holly embroidery right in the middle of the centerpiece. So this was a fun project. It was something different that I hadn't done before. We did get, just before Christmas, we got some beautiful grunge fabric in dots in red and green, and this was a perfect project to use that. So once I had this done, my brain is going, I'm trying to figure out what else I could do. It has 2 placemats, it has some mug rugs, it has a napkin corner, different things that you could do. Once I did the centerpiece, I didn't really want to do a table runner, a placemat. So my head is going, and I'm thinking candy canes in the middle of something, that would be really cute if I did it in a ring. So I'm in my sewing room, I have a bowl from the kitchen, I trace it, I divide it, I'm laying templates all around it, trying to figure out how I'm going to make this candy cane ring in the middle of a table runner. And I went, I have a machine that will do that automatically for me. So I brought 1 candy cane into my creative icon. I went to Shape Creator, created the circle the size I wanted it, and then just put the number of candy canes I needed to complete the circle, and I made that very quick and easy right on the machine. So I used one of OESD's pre-packaged table runners. It's 12 by 36. I fused fusible woven to the whole entire back of the table runner. I did the candy canes in the center and then just used the applique on the end, and very quickly had just a fun table runner for probably put it on my coffee table because it's just a perfect size for that. So this is the designs that are in the machine, just used a little bit differently. One of the other designs so there's 2 designs for the placemat. There's a holly border, and then there's also a dog. They're both very cute. I fell in love with a dog. I definitely did not want a placemat with a dog on it. So I took it, put it as the center panel, and made a pillow. This is going to be really cute. I have a chair in my dining room, so this pillow is going to be perfect on the chair in the dining room. If you have kids, if you love pets, this is a great project. You could make the placemats. but I just thought this was a fun way to use the design, because not always do you want to use things the way they design it to be done. And then I also used the placemat, the holly placemat design, and put it as a border on a towel. So I just used one of our white towels. I made sure and washed it first, and then used it as the border along the towel. All of my projects I used, you guys know, my favorite product, OESD Fusible Woven. It's on the back of everything. It just gives all the embroidery a nice firm finish and makes it great. So this was just a fun project. It went together pretty quickly. I learned some new techniques. I had a great time doing it. So next up is Terry, who has a really fun quilting project for you. Hi, my name is Terry, and I did the Christmas Pines table runner, wall hanging, and placemat project. The instructions give you the amount of fabric you need for 2 placemats and a table runner. It gives you the amount you need for the wall hanging as well. The wall hanging is a nice little quick project you can do in an afternoon. All of them are done the same way. It has you cut out 3-inch strips, and each one of these greens are a different size, and then it cuts a little, you have a little square that you cut of your background, and you just do like a flying geese edge here. So it goes together very quick and easy. This can be done in an afternoon. The table runner and placemats can also be done in the afternoon. After you get all your strips ready, they wanted you to spray the back of your batting and put it on the back fabric. I just used iron-on batting for my project, and then you lay your bottom piece right side up and you put the next one facing it. You do a 1/4-inch seam, press it up, and you just do that all the way along, and it goes together quick and easy. The stars are applique. I did make the table runner and the placemats in one afternoon as well. And when I was all done, I had, from cutting these little edges right here, I had all these little squares, half square triangles, so I put together some little pot holders as well. I think I could have probably made 3, but I made 2 pot holders to go along with it. So this project doesn't take very long, and it would be a great gift, or it would just be really nice to liven up your table at Christmas. Next, Mallory will come up and finish this up.
Thank you so much for joining us on our virtual open house. Although we would have loved to be in person for it this year, it just didn't seem like the right time with all the mask mandates coming out. So hopefully we will see you in our stores. Our stores are all still open right now. If you want to get any of the patterns or design discs that we showed to you today, you can get them at any of our 4 locations by going in. They'll have the table set up. You can come look at some of the samples in person, pick up your So Fun gift, and close out the year this way. Starting next year for So Fun, we have a fun little program that we're trying. We're gonna do a little book club. So every month when you come to So Fun, the presenter is going to have a book that you can purchase, and at So Fun, the presenter is going to show a pattern that was made from the book. So the pattern's included in the book, as well as it's a novel to read. Then, if you go online to our Facebook VIP group, we'll have a little book club discussion in the Facebook group that anybody can participate in. We'll run that discussion throughout the month, and we'd love to see what customers create from the pattern in the book at Show and Tell the following month. So in January, we'll have the first book available to purchase at So Fun. Then online, we'll have the book discussion in our Facebook group, and at the February So Fun, anybody who's made the project from the book can come and show it at the Show and Tell, which would be really fun for us all to see what everybody comes up with. So we hope to see you at So Fun next year, and we hope to see you in the stores getting some of these fun projects in the next couple weeks. Merry Christmas.